Here we are with Derek Smith. This is Criterion Now 161. So, Derek, welcome to the show. I know you've been on before, but it's been a while. So, glad to
Yeah,
have
good,
you.
good to see you again, Aaron.
Likewise. People that don't know Derek, Derek, do you want to give an introduction to what you're up to, and or what you do and what you've been up to, I should say.
Yeah. Some people might know me from write reviews at Slant Magazine for Blu-rays and new releases. And I've also recently recorded an audio commentary for an upcoming release from a Japanese director in the 1970s, and hopefully later this year, early next year, I'll have a couple of visual essays coming out for some films that were made during the Japanese New Wave. Um, I also have taught a class on the Japanese New Wave for your site, Cine Journeys, and I have part
Mhm.
2 of that coming up just this upcoming Sunday. So we're going to have another part 2 is going to be another 5 weeks on some of the later films in the Japanese New Wave. And then in October, I believe Saturday, October 11th, the David Lynch class will start. And that's going to be 6 weeks with 1 week off. And that'll be David Lynch, the early years. So we'll cover everything from, we're going to start off by talking about his, you know, early short films and the documentary The Art Life, and then
That's
cover
right.
all of his feature films from Eraserhead up to Wild at Heart, as well as a week on Twin Peaks seasons 1 and 2. So a lot to cover, but yeah, it should be a fun class. I'm looking forward to that one.
Can't wait. Love the man. So I've quoted him in my book, and I've talked about him. Now, of course, with modern cinema, he's everywhere, which I
Yeah,
love, and I actually talk about that too because I
yeah.
just think it's fantastic that because he was an obscure filmmaker during those years in which you're talking about. Hey, Ebert trashed Blue Velvet, so I'm sure
Oh
that'll
yeah,
come up.
we'll be talking about the reactions to to Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart as well. So
Yeah,
there was
and it's a
definitely
nice
a
divide. Yeah.
divisive filmmaker. Yeah.
Yeah, a nice divide with Twin Peaks because Twin Peaks is a lot to consume. You're not going to expect everybody to watch 2 seasons
No.
before midweek, but then you have the break, and you'll eventually have a part 2, which we haven't announced, but
Yeah, we'll do
that'll
that
give
next
people some
year at some
time.
point.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I
and
know.
then we'll do everything from Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me through obviously Twin Peaks The Return. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
and of
everything's
course,
kind of
Mulholland
bookended by
Drive,
Twin
Inland
Peaks, yeah,
Empire,
and
yeah,
Mulholland
Lost
Drive,
Highway,
yeah,
yeah,
those will all be fun classes. So and yeah, I mean something like Fire Walk with Me and Lost Highway have really been kind of reclaimed as
hmm
incredible films when
yeah.
throughout the 90s and early 2000s they were just kind of dismissed as pretentious
They
trash. I mean, they really were. So,
they were, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I
I'm
love
looking
them
forward
both,
to it.
so
Yeah.
I'm thrilled that that they're finally getting their due. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm hoping I can swing the time because obviously I'm gonna, I'm facilitating, but also I'm a student of everything as much as I can spread myself around, which is not
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Trust
I
me.
mean,
But
I tried to make almost every week one film, except for
that's smart.
Elephant
That's
Man
smart.
and Dune, mostly because I mean, how much is there
Yeah,
really to say about David Lynch's Dune? I mean, he hates the film.
there,
We're going to
there's
talk
things.
about it, and it's
Yeah,
there's interesting backstory about it. But in terms of a conversation piece, I think his other
yeah.
films, are much more.
That's a good decision. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but I'll probably try to rewatch Twin Peaks the series as
yeah,
much as I can. And honestly, I haven't finished season 2. I watched basically up through a very important episode, and then maybe a little beyond it, and I just didn't like it. So
yeah. It's.
so,
I mean, it's. There's no doubt it gets very hit or miss after they
yeah,
reveal the killer for sure.
yeah.
I do think that the episode he directed, the very last episode of season 2, is as good as the pilot. It's really an incredible episode.
So
So,
I
but
cheated
you
not
do
to
have to
get
get
yeah,
you have to get through
yeah,
about 10 really bad episodes to
yeah.
get there. So,
I cheated and watched that episode, and
oh,
I
you did.
skipped
Okay.
those. So
Yeah.
I've seen enough, but still,
Yeah.
yeah,
I get it.
it's the completest.
Yeah.
You want to get all the references, all the Easter eggs, which because they do pay off.
Yeah.
But okay, well, we're here to talk about Criterion's. Oh, and of course, the all the links, if you want to register for all of these, we'll put those below. They're on the website. We'll also put your profile on so people can read your reviews and that and so forth on the websites or in the notes below. And
Yeah.
if you're watching this on YouTube, and by the way, if you're not watching this on YouTube, we're going to be using video pretty extensively because we'll be looking at the websites. So apologies, we'll try to point things out as we see them, but we'll be doing a lot of scrolling because we have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
Which is why I'll go ahead and share some background on this. This is actually our second version of episode 161. I was joined by the wonderful David Blakesley and Trevor Barrett for a kind of reunion episode because we're all Criterion Cast alums. David still writes there a little bit and has a podcast that he does a few things, but he's also he's with Cine Journeys, and Trevor's kind of doing his own thing. He's a very literary guy, and so it was a really nice episode. And we then talked about the leak of the Wes Anderson box set. I was going to say the David Blakesley box set. David would love that,
Yeah.
but then as it happened, the day we recorded, we just were like, okay, well, Wes Anderson told people he has a website coming out. We'll believe it. Let's speculate what's it going to be like. I think
A box set, you mean?
Yeah, we even we even speculated about the price, and I think that we were all low, if I remember.
Yeah.
Because it's pricey.
It's pricey.
The thing is, we recorded it, saved it. The announcement was like within 12 hours. It was the next day, early in the day. So so that became a lost episode. I did put it on our Criterion Now channel. So if anybody really wants to watch something that's outdated, it's a lovely conversation. We were also rushed too because Trevor had a obligation. So we probably covered a lot of ground that we're about to cover too fast. But it was still a really nice episode. It was really great talking with both of them just because they're old friends. So I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I will go ahead and let's talk about what's new. So if you can't see, I have the Criterion website open, and there is Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let me go from the bottom up. So I'm gonna do a fast scroll here, and so we have just a ton. So I'm just going to scroll here, and if you want to call out any that you see, and I'll do the same. Obviously, Umbrellas at Cherbourg 4K is a big one.
Yeah,
I love the two Bruce Robinsons, Withnell and I.
Yeah, I mean the wind will carry us. I'm glad that's finally getting a nice upgrade. I think it's only Blu-ray, but still, any Kiarostami that gets upgraded from DVD is a good sign, and I think that's one of his best films. So.
That it's great. It really is.
I haven't seen it in a long time too, so I'm excited to unwrap the plastic, which I haven't done yet. So,
and I have not seen a lot of people buy that. I think that people are sleeping because there've been a lot of sale posts. The sale's over. So sorry, there'll be another one in a couple months. Charles Burnett, I think, is notable. Killer of Sheep, recent release.
Great film.
That's another one. A really great film. I wish I'd seen more of those. And I'm going to click through The Wiz because let's just see. The Wiz is currently unavailable. The rumor is, there's missed audio apparently. So I think there's like I want to say a minute of audio missing from the transfer. So I don't know if they haven't said
on the 4K and the Blu-ray, like both discs.
Looks like both. Really? Yeah. So I have a feeling it has to do with the digital restoration approved by producer Rob Cohen. Hey, Rob, you had one job. I don't know Mr. Cohen. I'm sure he's a very nice fellow, but I'm not going to place blame at his feet. But this is a lovely cover, fun cover.
I love and art on that is great. I've never seen it. I mean,
oh really?
I've heard some of the music, so.
Yeah,
I'm that's to check it out. Yeah.
Especially for a musical. I don't know what audio was missing or what the specifics are. We'll find out. But if they do, if it is a recall, I did see a lot of people were buying this. So I did see this in a lot of stacks that people were posting online. Yeah. So if people did buy it, they'll have to have a replacement program. I get it. That's a pain. So So hopefully at some point, there's so many movies that I'm sure they're selling plenty of them, and they'll make this available when they can. Yeah. But hopefully not. I mean, hopefully that a recall won't be necessary. They could just do replacement discs. But never know.
Cut their losses early.
Anything jump out here going through June?
I mean, I love Midnight. That's one of my favorite screwball comedies. I think Mitchell
Oh,
Leeson
nice.
is an underrated
Yeah,
director, and that's of course I think it is written by Charles Brackett and Billy Wilder. So
it
if you
is.
like their
Yeah,
writing, it's a pretty great script. So, and then of course Sorcerer. I mean, for me, Sorcerer on
yeah,
4K is that is huge. That's
it,
just an
it's
absolute
great.
masterpiece. So yeah, that's one I've already
What's really
picked up.
nice. Oh, same. Yeah. What's nice is it was basically sold out during the Barnes and Noble sale, and I
Yeah,
think people were like driving to different Barnes and Nobles just to see if they happen to have one, but you couldn't
yeah,
get it online. I'll just click through see if it. Oh, oh yeah, you could get it through Criterion, but of
through
course it's full
Criterion.
price.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Sorcerer's a great one. I haven't. We just watched that last not a year ago. I think it was last September. So it's. I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
very
for
very
one of the
fresh. And
journeys, right? Yeah, yeah.
we did. Yeah, we paired it actually with Wages of Fear, which was a lot of fun. Actually, I would recommend that as a double feature.
Yeah, they're both out
Big
on
Heat.
4K from Criterion. So, oh yeah, the Big Heat
Yeah,
is. I mean,
yeah,
I have I haven't picked up the 4K. I mean, I have the Twilight Time Blu-ray, so I will upgrade eventually. But
same.
um,
Uh,
yeah, that's just one of the great noirs. So, I mean, I love
So
Fritz Lang. So
again, programming we have coming up. Adrian is teaching a Fritz Lang class, and
yeah,
so the Big Heat is, of course, going to be a big part of those noir years
yeah,
in Hollywood. So
hmm
I've seen it, and I love it. I also have the Twilight Time, but I had to pick that up, and didn't really even hesitate.
no, no,
And here I'll show you on camera. You can count on me, Kenneth Lonergan. I know you wrote a review on this, right? Pretty recently.
yes, yeah, yeah. I love it. I mean, I'd seen it a couple times before, but not in a good decade or so. So it was
Hmm.
I wasn't. I was expecting it to hold up, and it did. It's still fantastic. I mean, Laura Linney
Yeah,
and Mark Ruffalo together. It's just, yeah, perfection.
great.
Just such great
And
writing and acting. Yeah,
I haven't watched it for a while either,
yeah,
but I just it sticks with you the acting, the performance, and Lonergan too. I think has become a force in Hollywood. I'm glad it's his first title in the Criterion Collection. So,
yeah, yeah,
and then Truffaut's Douanel set. I haven't got that because I have the Blu-ray, and I don't know,
yeah,
and we'll see. I haven't heard much about whether it benefits from 4K, but not enough for me to buy it. Carnal Knowledge,
yeah,
of course, yeah, is a
yeah.
very much
Other than 400 blows, I don't know if I necessarily need any of them in 4K. But it's
same.
great. It's great that
Same.
it's out there. So
I mean, they're really good films.
yeah,
If you
they are.
haven't seen them, like, or
Yeah,
if you
I
don't
mean
own it, I mean,
for half price, it's what like
yeah,
$63 or something. So it's still a great deal. Yeah.
yeah. And actually just before we recorded, I know there's a lot of Amazon hate, which I get, and
Yeah.
I try not to shop there as well. But they have it currently at the half price, even though the sale's over. But that
Okay.
probably won't last forever.
Yeah.
But okay, well, yeah. So it's a pretty strong slate, and let's get to
Yeah.
the upcoming ones now. Because we have so many, because David
Well,
and
there, yeah.
Trevor and I covered up through August, I believe. So
Okay.
we are now so we have September and October remaining. So
Yeah.
let's
Now that they're releasing like 6 or 7 titles
I
a
know.
month too, so it's like you essentially have what used to be 3 months is now 2 months. So
Yeah, so tell you what, I'll read these out and we can talk
sure.
about them a little bit.
Yeah.
For the September release, or from the August and maybe some September releases, not to discriminate. We're going to go
Yeah.
into the big ones, of course,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
but maybe
I'll
September
shout
or
out Compensation, which I think
August.
is a really
Yeah.
great film, really original.
Oh,
Low
nice.
budget, black filmmaker, independent in the '90s. These are ones where it's like I'm just so glad that Criterion puts them out,
Yeah.
even if the sales numbers are not going to be nearly as good as the film next to it, a High and Low or something like that. So,
Oh, there's actually more
yeah.
below the fold. So
Oh,
let
okay,
me go from the bottom up. So yeah, we'll probably
gotcha.
just talk about the August releases
Yeah,
and then get. And by the way, if you want to, if you're a subscriber, not to put the hard sell on you, but that's the only way to get that lost episode. You can see David and Trevor and I talking about these in more detail. It's kind of hard to talk about these twice when we did an episode, even though
yeah, yeah,
we were rushed, but we have the pair from Kon Ichikawa, which are actually going to be out on the 5th, so next week. The Burmese Harp and Fires on the Plain, both are 4K upgrades. So that's a
yeah.
pretty big deal from
Yeah, I'm
DVD.
excited. I don't have a ton of Criterion DVDs still. I mostly got rid of them when they
Same.
upgraded. But yeah, Burmese Harp is one that I have still hung on to. So that's going to be exciting to get that in 4K. I love that one. And Fires on the Plain is great as well. So
Yeah, they're both great. I love the covers too,
yeah,
and really the covers. I mean, the
yeah,
cover art really reflects the look and feel of the film
it
pretty
does.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and and these are gonna shine in 4K. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to getting these. It'll probably be a sell because I've seen them, but these are two I'll definitely get.
Yeah.
Then I'm also intrigued about Cairo Station by Yusuf Shaheen. It's one I didn't know much about. Like I think it's easy to confuse with like Central Station. There's
It
been a lot
is.
of
Yeah. Yeah. This
yeah,
is the Egyptian film
yeah,
from I think the late 50s. I have seen it. I remember it being really good. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember liking it a lot. So, I mean, I think that's a cool release. They don't, anytime, they release an Egyptian film or an African film, from continental
right,
Africa,
right,
that's great because they don't have a ton. So, it's good to see
yeah.
that, that representation. So,
And that's where when we're getting eight titles a month,
yeah,
let's assume it's gonna continue. It's
sure.
nice to get some of these. Yeah, they're not gonna break any records selling, but
Right.
I am into African cinema or North
Yeah.
Africa in this case. I mean, it's the same thing, same
Yeah.
continent. But yeah, Egyptian cinema and yeah, I can't wait to watch this. Now, this might be one that might check out on the channel or something if it's
Yeah.
there, but still, I really it's I'm happy this is there and yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, who am I fooling? I will buy it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's me. And then we have I'm really looking forward to August 19th, A Confusion. Nice play on words,
Yes.
Mahjong. And those are
Yeah,
two films,
these are the and
Confusion
these are the
and Mahjong.
two Edward Yangs that I haven't seen. So
Yeah.
I mean
These
that's
are only
that's
Blu-ray.
exciting.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing with Criterion has really done a great job of getting Edward Yang to us, and of
Oh
course,
yeah. Yeah.
the restoration. I'm sure there's some Taiwanese cinema figures that are influential with this, but yeah. So we had well for a while we only had Yi Yi, and then we had
Yeah.
A Brighter Summer Day, and then Taipei
And
Story,
yeah,
and
and
now
I mean
these
when they
two.
when they brought A Brighter Summer Day out, I mean it was a pretty hard to see film. It was not, it
Yeah,
wasn't
well,
like, oh, we came out with a Blu-ray, but there was already a good DVD. It was,
I do
that was
know
that was a
some
big
of the
release.
behind the scenes of that one, and the elements were really a struggle to get right for A
Yeah.
Brighter Summer Day, and I think that's really I'm guessing that's been the issue with a lot of these. We haven't seen a lot of Hao Shen. Is that how
Yeah.
you pronounce it? I used to be so terrible I would say HHH, but I
Yeah.
think I got
Triple
it
H,
down. Triple H, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm betting that a lot of his films are wrapped up in elements issues. I mean, how can you afford to scan? Scanning these films are expensive.
Yeah, I know a
Then
lot of people
okay,
would love to see like City of Sadness or, some of
yeah,
those earlier,
Puppet
Fu
Master, yeah.
films. Yeah, but yeah,
There's so
if the
many.
elements aren't there, then you gotta wait it out until you can actually afford a full restoration on it. So
Yeah. So then that I think this is rounding out August. Well, almost, not quite. We have Vittoria De Sica Shoeshine, which is a neorealist institution. I'm actually surprised it took so long.
yeah.
Have you seen Shoeshine?
Oh yeah, I love Shoe Shine. I
So do
mean,
I.
yeah, there are definitely there are times when I think it might even be my favorite Desika, but
Hmm.
he has quite a few that are pretty great. But
He has some heavy hitters.
yeah, and that's one I've seen probably like 3 times, but I haven't seen it in 10, 15 years. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna be real.
I've
It's gonna be nice to return to that on a perfect 4K print. So
Yeah, I've really come around on 4K. Nice black and white cinematography
yeah,
really shines in 4K.
yeah,
I've been
it really
pleasantly
does.
surprised because I did not. Yeah, I didn't expect it. And
Yeah,
this one, I mean, just looking at the still, I will look at a couple stills from the film. Um, yeah, these just look great.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a wonderful film. I mean, with you're you're not gonna get an uplifting story. Well, you might get a life affirming is what the way I like to call
yeah,
some of
yeah,
his films that movement's films.
yeah, yeah.
So you said, have you seen Vermiglio? That's
I have not seen that. That's one of their
yeah.
what are they calling it? Criterion Presents or
Criterion
Criterion?
presents, yeah. So
Yeah,
breaking news.
yeah,
It's
yes,
old news for us, but new news for the podcast. So
right.
Criterion, so Janus Contemporaries has switched to Criterion Presents. I'm just trying to see a cover. I don't can't see it, but over here, yeah, Criterion Premieres. See, I'm messing it up.
Okay, yeah,
um,
yeah,
Criterion Premieres. So
yeah,
yeah, it's just the same. There will be really a channel content, Criterion channel. So in this case, it's Meet the Filmmakers. So interview with the director Mara Del Perro. I've heard great things, so I'm really looking forward to seeing Vermiglio, but I have not yet. And then two others. You had mentioned Compensation, but let's get to
yeah.
Alice Wu's Saving Face. Uh, I just want to say what I love, and David and Trevor and I talked about this, is sometimes I haven't seen a film, but just the community, people in the community get so excited for a film that they'd never expect to hit Criterion. And I think this was that film. So have you seen
No,
Saving
no, I
Face?
haven't. But it's yeah, a low budget, indie rom com by an Asian director. That's
Mhm.
great. Like you said, those are the type of releases that nobody's going to be predicting, but it's great that they can fit them in, as like the sixth or seventh slot
Exactly.
for a month.
Yeah.
Because I had not even heard of this until they released it, and then I started reading about it. I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds great, and yeah, a lot of people really love it. So, and then yeah, same thing with Compensation. It's a beautiful film too. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's another. So we have a queer film and we have a black film, and
yeah,
this is 1999. And this is American. I
yeah,
haven't seen either, so I'm looking forward to both. But yeah, Compensation. Zanabu Irene Davis. I don't know if she's done much else, but
I yeah
they
that
both have
yeah,
commentaries. Yeah.
I don't think she has, but
Okay.
I think it's like a lot of the unfortunately a lot of the independent black filmmakers in the 90s,
Yeah.
outside of Spike Lee,
A
it was
lot of them.
a lot of one
Yeah.
and done, or oh, you did one and then it takes 12 years to make another one, or you just make short films, or
Yeah.
so
And some have gravitated to TV.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
TV is a job. It's a really good job. In fact,
yeah,
now you don't have the directors don't have as much power or vision. It's the showrunner. The
sure.
directors are kind of a hired hand. So she has a short film called Pandemic Bread. So I do remember bread was hard to find for a little
Yeah, yeah.
while during the pandemic, but that was 2023, and I do love that there's commentaries. There's a lot of love going into these releases. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking
yeah, it's
forward to both
better
of
than
those.
pandemic toilet paper, I guess. So,
Yes,
well,
yes.
yeah,
That'll maybe
yeah,
the sequel. No,
yeah,
I don't think not even Eddington got into
yeah,
that. So, okay, well, so let's slow down a little bit and get into September. Let me just kind of survey. So just to see the number of times. Okay, well, we do have a few to talk about, so maybe we won't screech to a halt.
yeah,
But
yeah,
let's. So the upgrades we don't have to dig into because we've seen them or we know
yeah,
the supplements. So this guy Kira Kurosawa has this film called High and Low that's coming out on September 9th, and it's a 4K upgrade.
yeah.
And the supplements are exactly the same as the Blu-ray. But
Pretty good
are you
film.
buying it
So,
anyway?
I probably will, because I don't think at this point, with as many individual Kurosawas as they're releasing, I don't buy into the people who are. I think people are wishfully thinking that there's going to be a Kurosawa box set. I just don't see that how. I'd be surprised, pleasantly surprised, but um,
Yeah, not this
you
year.
know,
I would say
no,
just
definitely not
well,
this year.
sometimes Novembers do have box sets, but
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the Wes
they have
Anderson is September, so yeah, they could do a big one in November and have it be
yeah.
Kurosawa. I,
I wonder how
I
much
would
they
I'd love
film
to be
people have
wrong.
in
So
their wallets. Yeah,
yeah,
I would like, yeah,
maybe I'll wait until the November announcements and then pick up High and Low.
yeah, before and
Yeah,
seeing if you eat crow.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm doubtful that there would be like a complete filmmakers library, but
yeah,
it could happen. I want to say that the Ackerman set, the Pasolini set, those were big boxes, but they weren't the big box. There
yeah.
were others.
They could do something kind of like the Ackerman set, where they do
Mhm.
maybe like Drunken Angel and The Idiot, or just some of his
Right, right.
smaller films that and do like a set of where it's just like, oh, it's 7 films or 10 films or something. That would still be pretty great, but
his films during the war, yeah,
Yeah,
that were
yeah.
on Eclipse,
Hmm.
and now it looks like the Eclipse series is kind of winding down. I think they're mostly, if they might all be out of print, so
Yeah, yeah,
there you can still get copies, but yeah, that's a lot of films that yeah
yeah. They're just
won't be
stuck on DVD, basically. Yeah,
stuck on DVD, yeah, and they're great films too. So
they're
yeah,
great films, but yeah, there's not. I mean, they've released a few of them on Blu-ray or maybe 4K, but it's usually something like The Ascent or something where you're just like, well,
right,
this has to
yeah,
be,
Daisies, yeah,
clearly a masterpiece. So yeah.
yeah.
Born in Flames,
What's it called?
yes.
Yeah, so Lizzie Borden, so this is, September 16th. This one has been long awaited as well. This is one I haven't seen. And it's because, I just assume, maybe maybe
Mhm.
naively, but I
Yeah,
assume that at some point it'll see the light of day, and, it's
and it
nice that, that happens
and
sometimes.
it does. Yeah, no, it's such an awesome film. It's just yeah, it's on fire. It really kind of lays its ideas right in your face. I don't want to necessarily compare it to Spike Lee just because it's
Mm,
but it does have that where it's yeah, it's very incendiary, very yeah, it's a
okay.
fascinating film.
Interesting. I think I have an idea where you're going, but I actually appreciate you stopping short of that,
Yeah, yeah, I don't want to give
because
too much
I
away, but
wanna experience it, but an explosive post-punk provocation is a DIY fantasia of female rebellion. That
yeah.
sounds pretty amazing.
And I
Just
mean,
whoever
you can
wrote
see it.
that
I mean,
topic.
and
Yeah,
shot guerrilla style on the streets of New York City.
yeah.
This came out in what, 83, I think, 82, 83. I mean,
83,
you're
yeah.
yeah, you're talking about, that I love films shot in New York in like the 70s and early 80s when it's just that
Mhm.
like grungy, no wave New York, just
Right, yeah. No,
it's
I
just
mean, that's right at the heart
yeah.
of,
Yeah.
so much going on in New York,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So,
And this is only a blue. This is probably an example. This is not Shoe Shine or Citizen Kane or Double Indemnity. This is probably where there be diminishing returns at 4K. So,
yeah,
but
yeah. I imagine
blue is fine.
this will look pretty great on blue, and yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if you're gonna get that much more out of upscaling it to 4K, but you know,
But we have a lot of Borden, so we have a new commentary with Borden. We have an introduction by Lizzie Borden. The commentary also has a whole host of people, and including
yeah.
Chris Hedges. So worked on a lot of documentaries with Pennebaker,
Oh yeah,
and
okay,
the rest of the names. There's too many, but cast members,
yeah,
camera people. So Chris Hedges or Hegedus, I can't remember,
yeah.
and Dee Dee Halleck. She also was direct. I believe she was the primary director of Town Bloody Hall. If
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
mistaken.
Is it
I could have,
her and Pennebaker, or
yeah,
maybe yeah? I don't know. Yeah, they could have been two credited directors on that. I don't remember, but
I'm actually, I have to
oh yeah, it
I have to
was.
search it.
I think I
Yeah, it
saw it
was her
was
and Pennebaker. Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Well, hey,
So
that's plus one for my memory.
yeah,
So, I don't always win those, but,
yeah, yeah,
it's better to be
and
wrong and, verify than
yeah, 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 and I mean, I'm always happy to see a new audio commentary. They've kind of not to say
same.
they've moved away from them, but I think they have to some degree. You get a
Yeah,
lot
and
more
as we've
interviews
seen,
and video
yeah,
essays and that kind of thing, which are great. But
yeah.
for that movie
I know a
especially, I
guy
think yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's making them, but and yeah, you just made a commentary, but
yeah,
it is nice. I think, like, scholar commentaries versus filmmaker commentaries. I think that's kind of the distinction. You're not seeing a lot of, like, Stephen Prince's doing
yeah,
commentaries, but people talk, and I'm sure, obviously Lizzie Borden has talked about her film, knows her film very, very well. She doesn't have to spend hundreds of hours. She spent thousands of hours.
yeah.
So, speaking of commentaries by people involved with the film, we have a couple on this one. So this is a big one. This is Spinal Tap. The joke is that this one goes to 11, but it's coming out here in a couple weeks, September 16th. This is when I saw this after we had tried to podcast. I was
Yeah,
like, oh man, I really want to talk about this one.
yeah,
There's also a sequel coming out, which I don't know.
yeah,
It looks like it could be good. I mean, I'm going to see it regardless, but
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. I really have no idea what to expect out of that. I mean, I'm glad that they're all getting the gang back together again.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'll take it
Yeah,
regardless,
yeah,
and plus, hopefully, we'll get some sort of another return to these characters. So
Yeah.
here's the thing: is 3 audio commentaries. So
Oh wow.
Reiner actors. The history is that they in, I believe it was a Laserdisc. They had they, well, the studio DVD, they did a commentary in character, or all of them in character. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like them commenting on this as if it's real
As if it's an
is
actual
just
documentary. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
brilliant idea. Yeah.
great idea.
It's like when Cassavetes and Peter Falk
Yeah,
and went on to Dick Cavett, and I don't know if
yeah.
it seemed like they were really drunk, but whether they were
I think
pretending or not. But I mean
they were
that's better.
pretty
That
wasted.
that hour is better than Husbands, I think. So
I agree, and actually, Dick Cavett was in the Criterion
yeah,
closet recently, and mentioned that, and
yeah,
he's at a pretty ripe old age, so for that to still stick in his memory banks,
yeah,
that says
yeah.
something. But yeah, so that one was available, and then on the Laserdisc there was one out of character. So if you didn't have
Hmm.
a Laserdisc, that was the last opportunity to see it. So there's going to be, so that one will be on the disc, and then there'll be another one, and I'm guessing the last is uh, yeah, here we go. Producer Karen Murphy, editors Robert Leighton and Kent Beta. And then
Okay.
the last one, of course, band members Nigel
Yeah.
Tufnell, David St. Hubbins, and Derek Smalls. So yeah, three audio commentaries. Now I'm probably going to watch the band one first because it's just so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
But the others I'll enjoy as well.
Yeah. Because
And
it's not.
there's a lot more. Yeah,
Yeah, it's only 82 minutes, so yeah, it's
yeah,
easy to
and
you
it
can throw in
flies
that
by.
commentary. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so and there's the cutting room floor, so 98 minutes, so it outpaces the feature
The
of
feature. Yeah.
outtakes. So yeah, and then they have a documentary. Or actually, the final two, or this might be a performance. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And
Yeah, the performance footage that they didn't put into the film, maybe.
maybe yeah, or they
Yeah.
might have played a show. I
Oh,
wouldn't be
maybe.
surprised. I think they might have. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I just don't remember but I mean
The
I
story
love Spinal
behind it.
Tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll learn here in a couple weeks, but yeah, there was the Return of Spinal Tap, 1992. So there are excerpts from that. That might have been on the Criterion Laserdisc as well. 92
Okay.
sounds like a Laserdisc time
Yeah.
period. And then interviews with the band for its 2009 Back from the Dead album. They're just
Again,
so funny.
anything with them in character, whether it's
Yeah,
new or old, is great. That's yeah.
and
That's
we have a new.
gonna be an absolutely fun, yeah, just completely fun disc to own. So
It will be yeah,
yeah.
it's going to be a big seller. So if you
Oh, I'm
thought if
sure.
Sorcerer sold out, this one will yeah
Yeah.
get that
And
one.
they haven't
Don't wait
released
till
it
11.
since Laserdisc. They didn't put it out on DVD even. Oh wow.
The
Okay.
studios have, yeah,
Right.
Criterion
Yeah, there's been
hasn't. Yeah,
releases. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, so that's a huge release, and yeah, I mean, just that's one that goes right in the player and probably stays right in the player for a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
while, until I'm finished with it, or it's finished with me, maybe. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough to move on from Spinal Tap, but we
Yeah.
now have another Criterion premiere. Get it right, and this
Yeah.
is Misericordia. And this actually is the first Criterion premiere, or this is actually, at least this is when they announced it. So obviously,
Okay. With this
Vermiglio
film,
is
yeah.
being called that, yeah, and will be branded as such. But
Rebranded. Yeah.
Misericordia, I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah.
Elaine,
I've seen it. Aline Girardot. He did. Probably most people might know him for Stranger in the Lake, which came out maybe
oh
like
yeah,
8 to 10 years ago, which was great. This one's he's a queer French filmmaker. He has sort of like a very sly, subtle sense of humor, and very depressed characters, but there's a deadpan quality to his work that I find really funny. And
Hmm.
this one is also pretty wonderful. Not as good as Stranger of the Lake, but it's very good. So it's cool to see him starting to get a little bit of recognition. I've only seen a few of his films, so
Is it kind of like a
that's cool.
Aki Kaurismäki kind of deadpan, or
No, almost.
not
I
quite?
guess maybe if you take
That's
a
pretty
little bit
deadpan.
of, yeah, maybe not quite that dry, but
Yeah.
maybe like a little bit of Bruno Dumont, not his
Okay.
recent ones, but like
Yeah.
his stuff from like early 2000s. So
Like L'Humanité, or maybe
yeah,
like an
yeah,
early Lanthimos kind of vibe,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I would go there.
without
Yeah.
the animal violence.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
so animal violence, that's a good transition. Well, okay, maybe not so much, but Flow is coming to the Criterion Collection. Now, this
Yes.
if this had not won Oscars and had not been such a huge movie, it might be a Criterion premiere. It was looking like
Yeah.
that, but this is the
Yeah.
animated
I,
film.
I
Yeah,
I thought it would be, and then it got the full release, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's
well,
worth it,
that's the
especially
great.
for animated films. It's always great. I always find the behind the scenes featurettes and all that type of stuff about how it was made so valuable. So I'm glad this is going to get
Yeah,
some supplements with it too. So, and it has
yeah,
your
me too. Yeah.
favorite animal, the capybara, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, no one.
This household loves some capybara.
I know.
Actually, I didn't know
No, I
what it
know.
was. My
I know.
wife is
Andrea had to show it to you, and you're like, "Oh, that thing."
that thing. She's like, "Is a capybara in there?" Because I watched it before
Yeah,
her, and
yeah.
I'll share that. She does not handle animal despair that well. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't
Yeah,
violence/despair, and really she just wanted me to make sure that it was safe for her to watch.
yeah,
And as you know, you've all seen it. There are some times where this feline is in trouble, and there are some scary scenes, but ultimately I think I said I think it's worth it, and it's now on her letterbox top 4. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm patting
Well, so it
myself on
was
the
worth it.
back.
Yeah, you were correct.
I was correct. Oh yeah, I could have gotten in
Yeah,
big trouble. I'd be like, "What
yeah,
the?
right.
You didn't tell me." But yeah. So this is the first acquisition by then Janus Contemporaries, now Criterion
Right.
Premieres, but really the first one to be. They probably all had the option of being a big release. This is the first one that has the acclaim, in
Yeah,
hindsight, now that they get to releasing it, that it deserves more. And I
yeah,
think they've been known for a while because they have been preparing these for a while.
yeah, yeah.
And Gintz is his name, is a huge
Okay.
social media figure. He's become really he's been excited about this,
Oh
so
yeah,
we'll get his debut feature. Oh
yeah,
wait, this is a pretty stacked disc. So
yeah.
um,
And yeah, again,
one
another new audio commentary. So
and yeah,
I mean, you're
and of
getting
course
the
he's
director talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. So both his movie Flow and Away, which of course I haven't seen. I don't know that
Hmm.
many people have seen his
Nope.
debut. They'll both be on the 4K disc. The commentary there, full feature length animatic, and then it just continues. There's so much here:
Wow.
interviews, documentary, short films,
Yeah.
unused shot reel
It's
with
it's
commentary.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a stacked disc, and I mean, yeah, it deserves it. But yeah, to think that this could have been a Criterion premiere with basically just a 10-minute interview and nothing else. Now it's
exactly.
getting
Yeah.
now it's getting all of the audio commentaries and interviews, and so that's awesome. That's another great
It's great.
release.
Yeah, and it'll sell too. In
Oh
fact,
yeah,
probably this and Spinal Tap will be the biggest film. Now, I
yeah,
know I'm curious. I don't know how big you are into animation. I know some purists because this is indie animation. Let's face it,
yeah, yeah.
it's not Pixar. And it
Right,
can't. I
right.
mean, you don't have the budget for Pixar. You don't have the processing power for
Yeah,
Pixar. So, but I think it works. I'm not
yeah.
gonna like
No, I think
pixel push.
yeah, yeah. No, I think so too. I mean, I don't need my animation to necessarily be, everything super clean and crisp. Not everything's going to look
Yeah,
like a Pixar film because not every animated film can, have $20 million thrown at it and have,
right.
27 animators working on it at the same time. It's yeah, I think there's a lot of great you know, Russian and Hungarian animation from like, the
Oh
70s
yeah.
and 80s that's not, that if you look at it, you're like, oh, it's pretty spare, but it's still
Hmm.
beautiful in its own way. So I kind of feel the same with Flow. I mean, it's a great looking film, but yeah, you're not getting quite the detail necessarily that you're getting in something like a Pixar film. But
Yeah, and the description describes him as a visionary DIY animator. So
yeah,
DIY is a very big part of independent film. But the thing is, he has modern tools. So he's
right.
DIY with modern tools. So he has
Yeah,
Adobe Premiere, I'm guessing, or Final
yeah,
Cut,
yeah,
or all these tools. But he doesn't. He's not rotoscoping. But he's not. Yeah, he
yeah,
doesn't have
yeah,
500 computers to
yeah,
render a Pixar movie. Or
yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
probably pretty close to what it actually takes.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
happy.
thinking about it now though, like there's a lot of water in that movie, and water is, I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of those things
Oh
where
yeah.
it's hard to animate water, and
Hmm.
it takes a lot of processing power. So yeah, I'd be interested
Yeah.
to see in his commentary, talk about how how they got that all done. So
Yeah, and the cover image, yeah, I'm just looking at it on screen, has a water scene, which is from the
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
I don't know if it's a screenshot of the movie or if it's a painting of a scene in the movie, but he was in water, and the cat was in water in the movie, and just look at all that reflection around there. So
yeah,
yeah, if
yeah,
you know anything about animation, like you just said, the processing power is just it's almost like it's almost like multiplied. But so there's a multiplier, just the amount of reflection you add. So it's
yeah.
crazy. Well, we have a little bit left, so I'm going to say let's get to. Uh, and we've been talking for 40 minutes, so we're going to have to
Okay,
speed up a
all right,
little
let's
bit.
go.
Um, okay, and I don't want to give any film short shrift, but the Jacques Audiard, famous director of Oscar-nominated Emilia Perez, everybody's
Yes,
favorite.
on your letterbox top four, I believe. No, not.
Yeah, it's somewhere nearby.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
bottom
no
four
comment.
maybe.
Was not a fan, but the thing is, I do like both of these movies. I
Yeah.
saw them actually saw them both at festivals, and
Oh, really?
I've
Oh, cool.
yeah. Well, I'm sorry, not Read My Lips. Sorry, I saw
Okay.
Read My Lips after seeing the Beat That My Heart Skipped at a festival,
Okay.
but really appreciated both of these,
Yeah, I think they're
and
both really good. Especially for me, Read My Lips, but I haven't seen either of these since probably when the beat my heart skipped came out. So it's been a good,
same, yeah,
couple decades pushing. But yeah, I remember Read My Lips being a really good thriller,
yeah.
and of course, Emmanuel Devos and Vincent Cassell. I mean, that's yeah,
Quite a
my
duo.
butt's in the seat when you put those two together. So
Yeah, and in fact,
yeah.
I don't Vince Cassel. I'm curious what DeVos is doing these days, if she's getting a lot of work. But I really think that during this period of time was a very fertile period for her as an
I feel
actress.
like
So
she was in like every French film, it felt like, for like
it felt like, yeah,
eight, ten
and the
years.
great
And then
ones.
yeah, the
Yeah,
great ones. And then she just kind of, I don't know what she was doing or whatever, but yeah, it seemed like she
yeah,
kind of fell off, whether it was family time or she moved to doing French television, I don't know. But yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
she's a great
well,
actress either way. So
and unfortunately, part of the reality, it could be age. She could have
yeah,
aged out of
that
some roles, and maybe she didn't
absolutely.
want to play the mom character, or
Yeah.
maybe she couldn't get parts.
Yeah.
Not everybody ages in the same way. So
Yeah.
I'm just speculating. I don't know.
No.
I mean,
No.
obviously that is a thing. So we have this big box set,
Oh,
and I'm
that
just
thing.
looking
Yeah.
ahead. We have October to talk about, so I think we can give a little bit of attention to the box set. So the Wes Anderson Archive, 10 films, 25 years.
Who's this
I'll
guy?
share.
Wes Anderson? I don't know.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and get it out of the way that
Yeah.
the last two are new to the collection, and they will have standalone releases. So if you already have, if you already have, uh, where are they? The French Dispatch or Isle of Dogs, or I'm sorry, if you have all eight and you don't want to buy the box set, you're fine. You can buy these
Yeah.
two. Now the others won't be in 4K, but that's fine. And it's your
Yeah.
dollar, but it's all 10. I will share that I started the Phoenician Scheme, and it's very Wes Anderson-y, is what
It
I'll say.
is. Yeah,
Have you
it
seen
is.
it?
I have. Yeah, I saw it in the theater, and yeah, I don't know. Asteroid City and Phoenician Scheme. He's kind of starting to lose me. And I hung with him
Yeah.
even with the French Dispatch. I still really like the French Dispatch. So
Yeah, I
I
like
don't know.
the yeah, I like the
Maybe not
the
the middle
ambition.
segment, but the first
Right.
and the third segment definitely. But
I like how much the French Dispatch loves French film, and all the
yes,
little
yeah,
Easter eggs through that. Like, that's
yeah,
basically member berries for me. It's from
right,
all these great French films I've seen.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'll reserve judgment on Phoenician Scheme, but so far, I've rolled my eyes. I'm like, okay, of course, this is Wes Anderson's, of course, going to shoot it like that. He's going to do the
yeah,
opening credits like that. It's
yeah.
like, okay, all right, I get it. But we have eight other films: Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, The Darjeeling Limited, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, The Grand Budapest Hotel. So
Yeah,
those are eight pretty solid films. I mean, opinions are
absolutely.
mixed. some people think Life Aquatic is the great. I mean, people will fight over their favorite films in this grouping. Some people
Yeah,
will fight
very true.
for
I mean, I feel like Life Aquatic
Darjeeling.
is probably one of his most divisive. I mean, since
Yeah.
it came out, I feel like he lost some people with that movie, and then
Hmm.
some people just consider it his absolute masterpiece. So, I mean, for me, Rushmore's
I love
still my
Rushmore.
go-to, but and Royal Tenenbaums holds up great too. I just watched that earlier this year, and I hadn't seen it in a while. And I was like, oh, this is still pretty great. I mean,
Nice.
I just hope he has another Grand Budapest Hotel or something like that in him. I'd love to see him. I know we talked about this on the Discord, but yeah, I'd
Hmm.
love to see him write with Owen Wilson again. I mean, I highly doubt
I
that'll
would love
happen
that
at this
too. Yeah.
point, but
I would love
so
him to do it like a noir or something, like
yeah,
a a No Country for Old Men.
yeah,
But is he good? Is he good at that? I don't know.
yeah,
We know he knows what the pocket in which he operates, and
yeah,
he's an exceptional filmmaker. You
yeah.
can't deny how great even these
Yeah, I
last
mean, even
couple.
even the
Yeah,
movies that I don't like. I mean, I always say like I didn't really like Asteroid City, but I'm like I'm gonna see Venetian Scheme in the theater, and I don't, even though I don't like it, I didn't regret it because it's
yeah,
still a gorgeous
yeah.
film. I mean, just
Oh yeah,
visually, his use of color and composition and all that.
the
It's
guy
still
knows
impressive. Yeah,
how to make a film, yeah.
yeah,
So it's $500. That's the big thing. So as I mentioned, that's MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price. So
yeah,
currently it's 400. Now
yeah,
I think they really priced this for the sales. So
yeah.
because it'll be 250
Still,
there'll be a
man, yeah.
flash sale at some point. Yeah,
You're
probably
you're basically
October.
you're basically pricing it the same price as 10 separate 4K releases, which
But
is,
they're not. Yeah, they're not going to complain if people spend $500 on this,
no,
and
no.
people probably will.
They
Maybe
will. Yeah.
400.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will. So huge. And one thing I'll share, and I can't be specific yet. Oh yeah, there will be a lot of ephemera. If you want ephemera, Wes Anderson is the filmmaker for
Yeah.
you. There will
Yeah.
be lots of extras. Um, but I will share that we will have a series on Wes Anderson films. So probably announce maybe around the. I mean, I guess this is coming out in a few weeks, so
Yeah.
or just a little more than a month from when we're recording. But yeah, more will be announced. I wasn't going to buy it, but because of that, I'm going to buy it just to go along. I'm not trying to, anybody that's intrigued by that. I'm not trying to, get bankrupt you,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think it's a pretty, like you said, $50 a disc, really 25 after the
Half
discount
price.
sale.
Yeah.
I actually I've come around. That's a pretty fair price for 10. And the thing is,
Okay.
if you well, you don't have to agree, and
No, no,
maybe
no.
it'll go out of
Hey,
print. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it could. I don't know. That'll be interesting to see what
it'll hold its
how it
value.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, people, and I love Wes Anderson too. I mean, if I didn't own so many of his films already, I probably would be tempted to pick it up. So I'm sure it's going to sell well. It just made me think of that Portlandia episode where Fred Armisen gets the B-52s box set, and it has all
Yeah.
this like ephemera, and then it's like the miniatures of the B-52s come out too. I'm like, for $500, I'm like, there better be like a mini Wes Anderson that just like steps out of the box.
Well, at least an animated bobblehead.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I have it open, and you can kind of get an idea if you're looking at video what it's going to look like if you zoom in. So yeah, there's the discs, there's little booklets. So I imagine I'm not imagine the discs are going to be in these booklets.
yeah,
There will certainly be. It looks like there's maybe room for a pocket of some sort. So I'm sure uh, the production of the box is going to be gorgeous. They're not going to
yeah.
spare expense. I
No,
mean,
this is not
frankly,
going to be. It's not going to be a flimsy box. This is probably going
right.
to be. Uh, yeah, it's going to be probably thick and have like a nice surface on it. So
Yeah,
yes,
I'm
like
holding up a
Pasolini or
Pasolini. Like this is a
yeah, yeah,
beautiful box, really well done, well
yes,
designed. Will not hold a candle, I'm sure,
yeah.
to this
No,
Wes Anderson set. But
but
yeah,
it's also $63 half price, not
right, right.
$250.
And
You know,
that's also about I want to say 10 films. I haven't
yeah,
counted,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah. So Pasolini is not Wes Anderson, and I
very true.
wonder if the price point has definitely gone up for these discs,
Yeah,
but it's gone up for 4Ks generally. I'm just seeing that across the
I mean
market.
everything's getting more expensive. So I think if they released the Wes Anderson box, a few years ago, it probably would have been $50 or $100 cheaper MSRP. So,
Probably so.
that's
Well,
just
okay,
the reality of physical media. So yeah, okay,
that
go
is
on.
the we are running over, so as expected, we had a lot to talk about, but
Yeah,
don't want to give short shrift to this one. So Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me. Now this is a 4K upgrade, and
yeah,
there's nothing new, on the disc. It's a great Blu-ray. I have it.
that's
I've
fine.
watched every second of it. The
Yeah,
missing pieces.
still,
Uh,
I'll still buy it.
yeah,
I'll still buy it day one. I mean, if you're David Lynch in 4K, come on, that's
I'm with you.
it's going to be
Yeah.
worth. It's going to be worth picking up. I think so.
I'm trying to find anything new here, and of course, I don't have the DVD or the Blu-ray pulled up
Yeah,
next
I
to
mean,
it. Well,
I know
actually,
the
yeah.
missing pieces. I'm assuming, yeah, the interviews are from 2014.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's not a new
Yeah,
one with Angelo Badalamenti. So
right,
Badalamenti,
right.
yeah, yeah,
And it would
yeah,
say Blu-ray only if there was anything new. So I just clicked the
yeah,
Blu-ray, and
yeah.
it
Okay,
just doesn't have the transfer stuff. So yeah, but
yeah,
I'm with you. I'm like Mulholland Drive when
yeah,
I first, that was a no-brainer. So yeah, it makes you feel a little weird doing that,
yeah.
yeah, it's such a gorgeous movie. And again, it was, I think yeah, as you mentioned, it didn't get its due when it came out. Um,
Oh yeah,
but
no,
it just looks
it
so
was panned when
fantastic.
it came out.
It
So,
was. Well,
and it's
I
kind of
mean,
crazy. It's gone to the point where like, yeah, you go on like film Twitter and you're like, you could be it's almost like the Berenstein Bears or the Mandela effect where you're
right.
like, wait, did people really did hate this film? Because everybody's
I
talking about
know.
it as if it's a masterpiece now, which is great, but it's like, wow, talk about going from the bottom to the top. I would say more
Well, the
than
thing
any of
is,
his films.
a lot of people watch this because this is a prequel.
Yeah.
So a lot of people watch this before watching Twin Peaks, and bad move.
Yeah, bad
It
move. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, he made. I mean, yes, it's a prequel, but he
mhm.
made a lot of things in Fire Walk with Me. I think it helps to have seen Twin Peaks first because he
Yeah.
made it first. He's referring to things, in the series, in the film. So, yeah, I would recommend if anybody hasn't seen any of them, watch seasons 1 and 2, then watch Fire Walk with Me, then jump to the Return. So,
And most likely the show itself, the episodes will not come to Criterion. I mean, you never
no,
know. But so I would find them. I'm sure they're streaming somewhere. But
yeah,
there's boxes out there that are actually a lot less expensive than the Wes Anderson box,
yeah,
but still pricey.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
no, this is a special release, and I'll be talking about it with you probably some point early next year. So I look forward to that.
yeah.
Uh, but we do have a few more, and I hate to give short shrift to the next two. We have Georges Franju, Eyes Without a Face, who actually just I mentioned on our Discord last night
Yeah.
in a completely different context. Like
Yeah,
maybe,
but yeah,
um,
no, yeah, very different. But yeah, that's no, that's another one where yeah, it looks great on Blu-ray, but it will look incredible in 4K. So I'm sure it'll sell well. I'm sure a lot of people will upgrade, and it's probably worth the upgrade. So,
I do want to point out Blood of the Beasts. Have you seen
Blood of the
this
Beasts.
puppy?
I have seen that one. Yes, that is
Yeah,
yeah. I wonder if
I,
that's going to be in 4K.
it's
I'm
not.
like, no, no, no. I'm
It,
just
it
yeah.
doesn't
You
doesn't
don't
appear to
want
be, at
yeah.
least. Yeah,
No, no, no. But yeah, you don't want that
I
in 4K. I don't think.
Yeah, it's a documentary about slaughterhouses, and it's
Slaughterhouses.
in
Yeah.
black and white for a reason. So
Hmm.
it's a great movie, but it is not for the squeamish. But I actually think it's if you have a strong stomach, I
Yeah.
think you'll find it really enlightening.
Yeah.
On some very dark subject matter,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and it's has nothing in common with the feature with
No.
eyes
Yeah. 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 It's not a
without a
prequel or
face.
a sequel to Eyes Without a
No.
Face. Very.
I guess it's gorier than the horror film.
Very
So there's
true. Yeah.
that. So then we have another presents or premieres. We have David Cronenberg, The Shrouds. So that just started showing on the Criterion Channel. I haven't seen this. Love Cronenberg. I hear this is kind of a return to form to his body horror era. Have you seen it yet? I hear you're
I
a
have.
fan.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I am a fan. Um, it's interesting because yes, it's a return to his body horror to some degree, but it's also a lot of it is through the dialogue and the ideas
Hmm.
rather than necessarily the body horror being on screen. Although there is some of that as well. But yeah, I think
Okay.
I mean, it's such a fascinating, it's definitely his most personal film. I mean, you look at Vincent Cassel, if you look at a screenshot from him in the movie, it's like, oh, he's clearly
Right.
David Cronenberg. He's not really hiding
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
um,
And Diane Kruger, yeah. So
Diane
no
Kruger is great.
Emmanuel DeVos in this one.
Right.
That is something also, Vincent Cassel can play these
Yeah.
lead roles. So
Yeah.
that
And
is a
man,
thing.
yeah, Guy Pearce, another
Yeah.
great role. I mean, he was great. I know you didn't really like The Brutalist that much, but great in The Brutalist and incredible in The Shrouds too. So I'm glad to
We don't
see
talk
him.
about Bruno.
I know that's yeah.
No,
But
no,
no. But just in
he
terms
was
of
good.
Guy
Yeah.
Pearce, yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
I'm glad that he's kind of getting some. I mean, maybe Cronenberg isn't necessarily a big role, but I'm glad that he's out there a little bit more now. So
Me too. So speaking of Cronenberg, now we only have three titles remaining, so I
okay,
think we can give this one a little attention. So I have it on good authority that this is the best superhero movie of all
yes,
time. This is
yes.
David Cronenberg's A History of
History of
Violence.
Violence, the
Um,
greatest.
the and
Hey,
Derek, you
you've
will fight
seen,
anybody that disagrees, right?
yeah. I mean, come on, Vigo in those sex scenes. That's a superhero at work right there.
What about Eastern
So
Promises?
yeah, why not? I mean, hey, he can fight naked. No weapons.
Yeah. No, I think, and in fact, you'll see later. I actually tagged you in a superhero conversation about this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's it's funny. I know you meant it as a joke. I don't think
I
it's a
mean, it is.
stretch.
I mean, it is technically. I know a lot of people do talk about it in terms of comic book films because it was based on a graphic
Mhm.
novel. So yes, I was totally joking in terms of being a superhero film, but
But it's
I do love the
actually,
film. Yeah.
even in the description, Cronenberg slyly deconstructs the mythos of the American
American
action
action hero.
hero. No,
Yeah.
I think it's there. I think it's in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you. Well, this is a very a freezing cold take. Is that I didn't love it but I haven't seen it in like it's. I want to say I saw it when it came out, so 2005. I don't
Oh
think
wow.
I've seen it since, and I thought it
Okay.
was okay. I remember it was praised, and I was not on board.
It
But
was. I
it's
mean,
been
it was
20.
so universally praised. It's hard to think of many years since 2005 where one film was like
Yeah.
so widely considered the best. Like I remember it just being number one on so many critics lists and group lists. And so, yeah, I could see, going into it, especially if it's after all that hype and you're like, oh, this is what it's all about. I mean, I love it, but yeah, I'll be interested to see how you like it now that you're kind of like, okay, I didn't like it the first time. Now let me watch it and just kind of accept the film on its own terms rather than, you know, 150 critics telling me that it's the best film of the year.
Yeah, I might have been that guy. When there's a movie that wins Best Picture, let's say Parasite, and
Yeah.
and then 6 months later, they're like, "Well, what? Anora," and
Yeah.
this is very much happening with Anora right now.
Yeah.
How is this a Best Picture? Now, this did not win a Best Picture, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
there. I might have been part of that
Yeah.
backlash, so
No,
I'm
yeah.
willing to
But yeah.
humble
But
myself
again,
and
in
give it
in a
another
world
shot.
where in a
Yeah.
world where Coda can win Best Picture, how can we complain about Anora winning Best Picture? Come on.
Coda's great, but yeah,
It's
very,
fine.
very, very different story.
Perfectly fine.
Um,
Yeah.
Perfectly fine is
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's a good movie. I
Yeah.
not don't want to digress too much, but yeah, I'm with you. But there is another audio commentary. Now, this is probably held over from previous releases, I would guess. It
Yeah.
doesn't say new,
It doesn't say new, but still Cronenberg talking.
so yeah. But there's other new stuff and new interviews. There's excerpt from the 2014 TIFF
Okay.
from with Cronenberg and Vigo.
Oh, and
There's
Vigo.
a
Yeah.
documentary. So this might be one of those featurette kind of documentaries. Oh, and then they have 3 featurettes. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Those will
Deleted
be like
scene with
3 minutes each, but yeah,
they,
that's
they
still
might be.
hey, it's not bad. It's not. I wouldn't say it's completely stacked as I would have hoped, but
Yeah.
a commentary and a handful of interviews and behind the scenes. It's not bad. I mean, I'm just glad it's on 4K. That's
It's exciting. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, even as somebody that was not along for that ride, it's exciting to see this release because I do remember that universal praise.
yeah,
And I also just want to say I like to highlight the essays and the cover art. And just because we've had so many titles, I've had to give those kind of prioritize other
I do
stuff.
love the
But I
art
do,
on this is so good. Yeah.
yeah, Connor Williamson is the
Okay.
artist that did this, and this is I'm having worked with Caitlin a little bit,
Yeah.
not a little bit. I mean, we were done. She did the cover to my book and the branding for my website,
Yeah. Just look
but
behind you.
you know,
There's some of her work.
exactly. That's Caitlin right there. But I've gained appreciation. I mean, I've always been appreciative of illustrators and just the talent they have. But this is really, but also design.
Yeah.
Really the conceptual design, coming up with that, and I think that's where you take that for granted, that part for granted. So
Yeah.
really great job of coming up with this concept, probably in tandem with like Eric Skillman or somebody.
Mhm.
But this is really just in all ways, well illustrated, but also the red, the the way he's silhouetted in red,
In red. Yeah.
really
Yeah. The green and the
speaks to,
blue sort of,
yeah,
the
the
top and bottom cut in
artificiality.
half. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
great. I love it.
it's this is a candidate for cover of the year, regardless whether I like it. So,
Yeah.
okay, as I mentioned, we have three left. So,
Yeah. Let's
let's
go.
get into the last three. So, Altered States. Shout out to Lucy Russell, a good friend. She's the widow of Ken Russell. She's a great person. She's been on the show before. So,
Yeah.
uh, she was very happy that Altered States is coming out on October 21st. One thing, all of the October titles have some sort of horror connection. I mean, it could be argued to be horror.
Yeah.
So it used to be like one or two. I kind of like this trend. I hope they keep it.
Yeah.
Another great cover too.
Yeah.
But
That
Altered
cover's great
States,
too.
one of the craziest endings, and notably crazy endings. So I haven't seen this one in a while. But
Yeah.
what do you think of Altered
I,
States?
I like it. I mean, I think it's a really good film. I mean, it's not the Devil's, but it's still a very,
Right.
you know, it's still a great uh, Ken Russell, science fiction film. Love Bob Balaban in this.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we got a new. I didn't even see that new audio commentary with Sam Deegan,
Sam Deegan,
who I
yeah,
like. I like her.
who's awesome.
Couple of her
Yeah,
commentaries. Yeah, she's great. So that
she does a lot of them too.
yeah,
Yeah,
she
so
does. She does. So
so
yeah,
now
that's
now
cool to
you
see
know
her. Yeah.
how much she puts into
Oh
those.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
So
Devils would be great. I mean, I think everybody would prefer the
yeah,
Devils,
I
and
know
that's
that's yeah.
that's not a reflection on
But
Altered
this is, I
States,
mean,
but
this is a major
yeah,
title, I think. So
huge. Yeah, I think the Devils will come someday. Hopefully, maybe October 2022. I mean,
yeah,
maybe they're already curating those if they're gonna go all horror again.
yeah,
Yeah, decent release. Jessica King and Richie Beckett did the cover, so good work there.
yeah,
And here's a big one. So Nightmare Alley. This is a Guillermo del Toro. So shout out to Sheila O'Malley, who has a book coming out. I want to say her book is coming out in October. It's in part of the new, well, not in part. It is about the new
yeah,
Frankenstein movie. I think her book. I might have the date wrong. I think it's October 15th. We just spoke recently, or corresponded recently, but this Nightmare Alley is coming out just in time for that Pinocchio
yeah.
Frankenstein. Very
Right.
big
Yeah, yeah,
difference.
yeah. He's doing a
But
Pinocchio
night
sequel.
right, so it's another remake, but he's done this a couple times already. So this is uh, Nightmare Alley. It's a remake of the 1947, I think, noir film,
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
Carnival Noir. I could be wrong. I'm not going to check, but I don't care.
yeah.
uh,
Close enough.
it's a great movie. I mean,
Yeah,
nothing against GDT, but nothing could come close to the
to
original
the
Nightmare
original.
Alley.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so, I mean, it's different though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate him making a different vision,
yeah,
and actually adapting the book. So, but what's interesting here is we have a new 159-minute black and white extended director's cut. This is pretty exciting.
yeah.
Well, I can actually, okay, I'm going to ask the question: is this pretty exciting? What do you think?
I mean, I've never been that big on the we make a color film and we're going to release the black and white version. I think it's kind of a way of getting audiences to go back to the theater to see a film again. Which hey, that's fine. Like, you want to do the what was the Fury Road one they called it something in chrome. Or
Yeah,
is like in
yeah,
black and white. And I'm
I
like, okay, like,
forget.
but it's
Yeah,
great in
I
color.
didn't watch it.
I don't need it in black. Exactly. So,
Yeah,
but for this, it's based on a noir. I could see it looking great in black and white. It's going to be, in 4K. I don't know if while he was shooting it in color, if he also had in mind, you know, shooting things so
Mhm.
that they would also look great in black and white. I don't know the process, so I'm hopefully he'll talk about that on some of the
I'm sure he
extras.
will. Yeah,
Yeah, and that speaking of covers, I mean that's another great cover. Reminds me of Workmeister Harmonies, but it's still a beautiful cover.
it does.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they were
So
going for, but
I'm looking through stills, if people seeing the
yeah.
screen,
I mean
and
that's a beautiful shot. Yeah,
it's a beautiful shot, and a lot of black and white films are filmed in color, and
yeah,
I don't know that they're always so I want to say Nebraska. I don't know if that's a great example, but
yeah,
I wouldn't compare
yeah,
Nebraska to this. But I know that was filmed in color. Now I don't know if Alexander Payne intended it, was looking at the dailies in black and white or not.
okay, yeah,
But the thing is, when it's a well-made film, and especially this, it's a
yeah,
noir remake, and you could call it a post noir, I guess, or maybe
hmm
noir. But it's a different vibe. I would say it's a little more sterile, and I don't mean that as a critique. A little more mechanical.
No,
Um,
I feel like it's yeah. I mean that's kind of GDT's style, and probably also
yeah,
just comes from sticking closer to the book, and it's a lot longer than
yeah.
the original film. So
And there's no production code anymore, so
yeah,
congrats,
yes,
GDT.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, visually, like he does not disappoint. This will look great in color or black and white, I'm sure, and I'll
yeah,
give it a spin in black and white.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, just I'm showing the scene in which he's trying to guess the people's guess people's things in the
yeah, yeah,
audience. It's the game, the guessing game,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
backlit, and I don't remember that backlight in the
In the
in the
color,
feature because it was a
yeah,
very saturated shot, a really nice shot.
yeah,
But yeah, there will be, as you can see just from the stills, there will be black and white and colors. So if you don't want the black and white version, you don't have to watch it.
yeah,
but
yeah. It's there. It's
but
there for free, so
there for
don't
free. We got
complain.
another commentary.
Yeah,
A lot of commentaries, but they all been directors, so no
yeah.
scholarly. So I
No
think that's the
scholarly, but
yeah,
Del Toro, I mean, he's one of those guys where I almost enjoy hearing him talk about film more than I enjoy watching his films. I mean, I do like some of his
yeah,
films a
yeah.
lot, but I just think he's more fascinating when he's talking about his own filmmaking and films that he loves. So that should hopefully be a good audio commentary, I think.
Nice. Yeah. No, I'm sure. I do like his films. I don't love them all. I'll say
Yeah, yeah.
I'm rarely disappointed. I know that sometimes he has had some haters, so I would not call myself a hater of
No,
Del
no, no.
Toro,
I wouldn't either. Yeah.
but huge respect, and
Yeah.
also a $60 MSRP. So there's a lot here.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to list the supplements. But, well, I'll just mention these two. Conversation with Del Toro and Bradley Cooper, who you might know from Wet Hot American Summer, and
Yes. Yes.
and also Del Toro and co-screenwriter Kim Morgan.
Yes.
And I'll just share that I don't know, I haven't met her
And I heard
yet,
Bradley
but
Cooper is going to be in character from his performance in Maestro in that interview, but I don't know if that's
nice,
true.
nice, nice. Which is almost his performance in Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, yeah,
But shout out to Kim Morgan. She
yeah,
wrote this, and she's a friend of Jill's, and so
yeah,
by extension, she's a friend of the show. And maybe now that she's not busy, maybe we'll talk to her at some point. No
yeah. That'd
promises,
be awesome. Yeah.
but and yeah, I'm thanks for pointing out the cover. It is a nice cover. I want to give credit to the artist Thomas Ott. And we have an essay from Sarah Weinman. That's awesome.
Okay. Cool.
This is it looks like a disc to get for me
Yeah.
at least. Did
No,
you like the
that's.
movie?
I thought it was fine.
Okay,
I would watch it again, and actually, that's one where if I do watch it again, I'll probably will watch the black and white just out of curiosity
same.
because it's kind of remaking a noir. Be interested just to see what it what he does with black and white. So
In fact, just going through those still shots kind of
yeah,
sold me. I'm like, I actually kind of want to see it, and
100%.
because
Yeah, that's kind of why
maybe,
when I saw a few of those stills,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, actually, I would watch the black and white. I take my words back.
And when I saw that backlit shot, I thought, well, maybe he really was looking at it because that looked like that could be out of Kane. That looked like
Yeah,
the shot
yeah,
while they're in the screening room.
yeah, that looks deliberate, like it was shot for
Looks
black
very
and
much
white.
so.
So
So yeah, I'm
I don't know.
intrigued.
Yeah,
Maybe I mean I really liked the movie actually.
yeah,
I thought it was a little overlong, and it's not really a
yeah,
critique. It's just I mean in the theaters it's it's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
So I think it'll work better at home. But yeah, no, it looked gorgeous in color. I'm sure it'll look look gorgeous in black and white too. So,
Yeah.
but we have our final film. So we talked about a lot, and I gotta say, I think this might be, with some exceptions, of course, Spinal Tap, a few others we've mentioned. This might be the most excited I am for a release, and this is Deep Crimson by Arturo Ripstein, which is a movie I had not heard about until this release. So, Mexican director, and this is
Yeah, I mean,
from
I haven't seen it. I
96.
haven't seen any of his films, but I mean, I know him more for the films he released in the '60s.
Yeah.
Um, with part of the the golden age of Mexican cinema, and you know, I'm just great. It's great to see any of those filmmakers get released through Criterion, because it's kind of an underrepresented, uh, you know, part of film
Mhm.
culture on physical media, I think. So this is
Classic. You're right.
this
Yeah,
is a really
classic
cool
Mexican.
release. Yeah, classic Mexican. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
that's not Luis Buñuel, who's not
exactly, right,
Mexican. So
who's not, yeah,
but
he just
yeah,
worked
yeah,
there, yeah, for a little bit, and
yeah,
they still
yeah,
haven't put out a couple of we
yeah.
still don't have releases for,
So
like,
it'd be
most
awesome
of
if
it out.
if
Yeah.
this sells well, if they oh, maybe they'll go back and do one of his '60s or '70s films. So
Yeah, and this is where, like, you're not voting with your wallet, I mean, in terms of, releases, but when people buy things, and sometimes it's surprising what titles will sell, sometimes I
yeah.
see things sell out or go fast at, like, flash sales or whatnot that you
I mean,
wouldn't
I also
expect, and
feel
it's
like,
great, yeah.
I don't know enough about the film, but I mean, just that cover, I think, could
Cover's
sell a lot
great.
of people. If you're looking at that cover and you're like, oh, okay, this looks like it's a modern,
It's an
or
amazing
late
cover.
'90s noir. So
It really, yeah.
that cover alone should help sell some discs.
Gotta love that little knife there.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
great shot. I'm guessing that's an illustration of a still from the film,
yeah, yeah.
by
I would think
Hayden
so.
Ott or Hayden Guest, sorry. Thomas
Okay,
Ott
yeah,
did the other cover. So,
okay,
yeah, some really, really great covers this month.
yeah.
Also, I've heard a horror, I think this showed on the channel. I don't know if it's still on the channel, but it showed
Oh,
somewhere, so
okay.
some people got to see it,
Got
and
to
I
see.
I
Okay.
heard a lot of praise for it. So, so this
Oh,
one is
awesome. Yeah,
one it's always great to have a new to you movie, and
yeah.
in this case, a lot of people will be experiencing this one around the same time.
Yeah, and when it's
So,
a new to you, and then you start looking around on Letterboxd or whatever, and you're like,
yeah,
oh, like some people that I respect already love this film, so it's new
exactly.
to me, and I have another potential, great film lined up that I was not on my
Mhm.
radar. So yeah, this is
And
awesome.
it's almost like a communal experience. You're watching this new to a lot of people film, and that'll be probably the
Yeah,
case for some, like uh,
Born
Born
in
in Flames.
Flames or Saving
Uh,
Face. Yeah, people will
yeah,
be it comes to disc within the first month or two after it comes to disc. It'll be a lot of people talking about it because everybody's watching it.
like,
Now
the
that it's out.
Watermelon Woman, Cheryl Dunn.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
very few people were able to see that, or the Melvin Van Peebles movies. Those were a
yeah.
conversation. The Marlon Riggs movies. Now, of course, I'm talking about different styles. Queer cinema,
No,
black
but
cinema,
still, yeah,
but Mexican cinema too. I mean, we people want these stories.
yeah.
Asian cinema, too. Asian queer cinema, like Alice Wu. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, kudos to Criterion for bringing this. Again, this one I'm looking forward to, and yeah, it's a pretty amazing slate. So
yeah. Both
that
both months, I think, but yeah, especially October. That's a pretty
October, yeah.
it's a
Well,
pretty great month.
yeah, September goes to 11. I think
Yeah,
October
that's true.
stays
Yeah, yeah,
there.
it stays there. Yeah, yeah. Well, definitely.
It's well, yeah, and you have the box. So, yeah, it's a treasure of riches. So, and wow,
Yeah,
we pretty brief record. I mean, all things considered, I think we were pretty efficient.
yeah.
So,
For having to cover what, like 16 releases or something. So
60,
didn't do too
70, I
bad.
didn't
Yeah,
count, yeah, so, we'll try to keep these a little more regular as people, some of I'm writing a book, it's coming out recently, as a matter of fact, we just signed the PR contract today. I said recently, it's coming out soonish.
yeah,
It's not technically finished, it's
yeah.
a massive tome, I'm really happy with it, we recently brought on Michael Hutchins as the editing team, so a lot of friends of the show know Michael from the groups, and just he's been on the show too. So, yeah, that's taken up a lot of my time, but I'm close to done with the manuscript. So now the easy part comes in, that whole editing and all that. But
Oh yeah, that'll go by like that.
like
Everybody
that, yeah.
loves the editing process of a book, I'm sure.
But it's looking like it could be around 500-600 pages
Yeah.
of
I mean,
I
there's a
think,
lot of films and a lot of filmmakers to talk about.
and I'm wondering now what if I should cut or what to cut, or some course, not to get into it too much, but it depends on printing and a lot of things. But we'll make it available. We might use a platform to make it available as
Yeah.
well. I mean, it's nice to have this as an option for people. But
Do you have an
it's
idea
been
of
great.
when you're hoping to go to print on the book?
So soon, soon
Yeah.
we are hoping. Now it all depends on the editing and all
Sure.
that, and I have to do some rewriting, especially the early chapters, really all of them. So it's a lot of work, but the hope is we in the Kickstarter we put down October. Now we'd hit a little snag. A health related snag which we've talked about, but it's not for us to talk about here.
No,
So
but
that has impacted it a little bit, but
yeah,
it's
I
more
think
impacted the finalizing, fine tuning.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think it's fair to say that our target is like it could still be October, but it's more likely November, December. So it might be a Christmas book. Get it for your dad,
yeah.
or
No, no. I
dads
mean,
get it for
yeah.
your
I
kid.
mean, that's a great. It's a great time to release a book. So
That's not how we
wouldn't be the
planned
worst
it.
idea. Yeah, yeah,
Well, okay. In that case, it's going to be December 25th.
yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
No,
Pre-order.
no, we have to get it finished, but we're
Yeah,
really
yeah,
happy with it, and yeah, got PR campaign, got a tour, all in the works, but yeah, the writing and the content. I don't like to use the word content about other people's work, but I talk I use it for mine. It is
yeah,
content, but
yeah.
it's a labor of love. So
Aaron West, author, or Aaron West, content creator? I don't know which one we're going.
It's both. It's both.
It's true. No, you're right. It
I'll
is.
take it. I'll
Yeah,
take it. So anyway, look for more on that, and we'll have resumed that podcast too, the A24 New Wave, which you were on a good while ago, but
yep,
it kind of took a backseat. Actually, I have some interviews that I'm looking to do on the podcast that I'll probably cite for the book, or ask questions
yeah,
intending to cite them for the book. So that'll be out soon. I might have you back. We'll see.
yeah.
I'll have you back at some point, but I don't know
But
about
right, yeah, but
A24.
for the A24, yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, those I've enjoyed those podcasts too. So,
They're fun.
and then
They're
you have the A24 class coming up. Probably what
I
next
do,
later
I do,
later
which
this year or next year? I don't remember when
it
that's
it
happening.
depends on the book and the
Yeah,
tour and that sort of thing, so we'll have to get that scheduled, but that'll be more in depth, and
yeah,
we'll usually use the book as really a textbook, but we'll,
sure.
of course, I have so many notes, you you wouldn't believe what
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
into, not academic, but a well-researched, a thoroughly researched book, so,
yeah. There's a lot of
there's a
stuff
lot
that
of
ends up on the cutting room floor, or just
right,
hey, I did all this research, but oh, this isn't fitting into what I'm writing. So these 5 pages of
exactly,
notes
and
aren't even nothing getting in. So it's
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. So yeah, probably the class. I would say it depends on the tour, but I would say
yeah,
early next year. But yeah,
cool.
it's an exciting time. So Derek, where can people find you online other than the places, our
And
platform
I
that we just
mentioned
talked about?
earlier. Yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd at I believe dsmith724, and then I'm on Blue Sky under Derek Smith. I think the handle is positively tonsils dot
Yeah,
bksky dot social or whatever it is. So you can find me there, and then of course on the Discord if you're in the Cine Journeys circle, I'm on there too. So
yeah, and I mean, like obviously we have a platform, we have classes and that sort of thing. But if you're just a casual listener and want to be plugged in, I would highly recommend just getting a free membership, get an invite to the Discord, and hang with us because it's fun. We have a great community going,
yeah,
and
it's a lot of fun. So
I'm very, very proud of that. So, on that note, yeah, great talking to you, and
yeah, great
yeah,
talking to you too.
look forward
So
to it soon. Talking
awesome.
Japanese New Wave and David Lynch.
Sounds good.